Are you welcoming clients? Look. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back-to-back sauces, and then I started doing baby lights. And I'm going to do the same on this side, and I did it heavier on her because she likes the back of her head to be super heavy. When she pulls her hair up, she wants it to be pretty solid blonde. So when you're taking super fine sections, you do need to go, you know, a little bit heavier than what you would if you're not taking fine sections. So I'm going to do 6 back-to-back foils on her hairline, and I'm going in a diagonal. So I'm going to take another pretty fine section, but not as fine as what we were doing because we are going to baby light through this. So I'm going to take it, and you're going to go right at the scalp, and you're going to finely weave. And this is going to give you your section. And I also wanted to show y'all this other tip. So it's easy for your foils to swell when you're taking fine sections like this. So I load my brush up, and then I start kind of in the middle, in the mid shaft, and I work my way up with my lightener. If you took all of that product and just plopped it on right there when you first started, then your foils are 100% going to swell. So you want to start the majority of your lightener kind of down here and then work it up. And that is going to help prevent any hot roots or swelling that you may be experiencing. This is like where my technique differs than some other people's. I like to connect this middle with these two sections, but I don't do, you know, the whole middle, because this is a half highlight. So my half highlight, I leave this out. And I got the whole idea of a half highlight from Jessie Gish again, but I do mine a little bit differently than hers. And I think it's, you know, that's what's really cool about our profession, is that we can take ideas from other people and tweak them a little bit to fit us better. So this is my middle section. This is what I'm not highlighting, but I still want to connect this to my two sections just because I feel like it blends better when I do. So I'm just going to take where it has this point right here, if you can see that, and I'm going to take a straight across section like this, and then I am going to take this straight across section and I'm just going to baby light it. So I am leaving a little bit of depth right here, but I'm baby lighting just this one little foil, and I just feel like it makes everything kind of come together and blend a little bit better than when I don't do this. So this is a little bit of an awkward position to be in because your foil is going to crease a little bit, but you just got to make sure you hold the hair really tight and saturate the foil really well. And lock your foil in place and it will stay. And see how I have that little situation that I just did? So to fix that, I'm just going to push the foil up a little bit more, lock it again, and there you go. So the front, don't section it off differently, that's just me. I just have my two sides like normal, and I'm gonna still work on my straight up and down diagonal and work with the shape of her head. And you can see, like when I start with her hairline, she's got a gap right here because she just doesn't have hair right there, and that's okay, totally normal. Everyone's hairline is different. You're still gonna do the same thing, following the shape of her hairline. And we're still using 10 volume right here because this is still a fragile spot. So in the front, we still want it to be super bright when she pulls her hair out. So we are going to do 2 or 3 back-to-back slices. And then we'll do like 1 baby light. So another big thing about slippage and the slippage of your foil is sometimes people don't hold their foil tight enough when they're initially starting, and you've got to make sure that you have your foils very taut and bring them very tightly to avoid the foil slippage. I'm gonna do 2 back-to-back and then 1 weave, and that is just because of how thin this front section is. You want it really, really close to the scalp, and you want it really fine and blended, and that's what's going to give you that super soft but super bright money piece. So now you've got to look at her hairline, and I fold these back just so I can see, and you see that she's got, you know, little hairs right here. You want to make sure that you get those too, because if not, she's going to have just a big brown spot right there. So we're going to do the same thing for the top part of her head too. Really want to make sure that you lock in that foil and it doesn't slip, because if it slips, that's when your foils are going to bleed. You're going to get hot roots. It's not going to be cute, and you definitely don't want hot roots in the front of the face. So okay, and see how I took that one and it meets towards our back foil too. But you never want to take a section that's larger than your foil. That's another thing that can make your foil slip and bleed, is by taking a section that is larger than the width of your foil. And I'm still only using 10 volume, and I'm still overlapping where I need to overlap, but I'm doing it very carefully and very slow and steady. So we're going to do the same thing on this side of her head. We're working on our diagonal. We're taking small sections. We're going to do 3 back-to-back slices and then 1 baby lock. Okay, I'm sorry. I meant we're going to do 2 back-to-back sections, 2 back-to-back slices, and 1 baby lock. Okay, so now this is the side of her head that she parts on. So there's more hair on this side. So when you look at it this way, we just did her little sideburn area. So then she's got this whole area right here, and she's got this area right here. And we need all of this done for the money piece. And another thing is, like I said before, you can't do a slice wider than your foil. So if I take this whole thing right here, that slice is going to be definitely bigger than my foil. So what's going to happen is you're not going to get all the hair in it. It's going to slip and it's going to bleed. So what I like to do is I like to start with this little peak of the head, and it's going to be different on everyone because it is like a peak. So I like to do a few foils right here, and then I do this whole front part. If you do not do this little peaks part, imagine when she pulls her hair back. When she pulls all this hair back, she's going to have like a gap of brown right there, and then blonde here, blonde here, blonde here, and blonde here. So these little areas that I'm showing you are very, very important, and I am very meticulous around the hairline. You don't have to be as meticulous when you're going through. I mean, you just baby light and slice and everything else through the top and the rest of the head. But the hairline is the most important, in my opinion, area of the highlight. So you want to make sure you're being meticulous. You want to make sure that you are doing what the client wants, and you want to make sure that you're doing it right. So, and see, it's different. So you're going to have to make sure that you practice these little areas, and you just get them done like everywhere else. Okay, so now we're going to do the whole front part of her head. So as you can see, like we just did these peaks and valleys, so it's going to look like you don't need to do this side, but you do. So you're going to take just a very thin section going all the way across. We're going to do the same thing that we've been doing across the rest of the head. So we're going to go 2 back-to-back slices to 1 weave. And here you guys can see how soft and blended these highlights around the face are because of the technique that we used. And I also wanted to tell y'all that I get this lift every time using Joico Blonde Life Lightener. If y'all haven't tried it yet, you definitely need to. I totally forgot to film an outro video too, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed this technique. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and if you liked this video, please make sure to put a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel. And I would love to see you guys over on my Instagram page as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye y'all.